I was so young, and in so many respects so naive. I went from being a careless student at 19 years old to within 6 months I was married with a child and a mortgage. And it was in at the deep end, but no, I loved it. The only issue I felt difficult, as I alluded to earlier, was the fact that I felt huge responsibility. I'd always been brought up to believe that your job is to provide for your family and your children, and I felt the weight of that at 20 years old quite stressful. And I suspect, well, I don't suspect, I know full well that that stress wasn't contained within me. It was probably expressed far too much to my wife at the time. But nevertheless, I also think that it helped me to survive the pressures of those years, in that, or both of us to survive the pressures of those years, because I just got my head down and went for it. I just worked and worked and worked, as I said, like a bit like my father did. But having said that, I worked at home, so I was always about. I saw my children grow up. I was in the shed at the bottom of the garden, and it was fine. I am certain that as you get older, you see pitfalls and you see problems far more than you do when you're young. So I think for me, everything in those days, much like a child, everything is a new experience anyway. And it was just another one of those experiences that you sort of, although the wonderment is there, you just sort of get on with it, because the whole process is about going through new experiences at that age. Marriage was a new experience. Having a mortgage was a new experience. All of those facets were completely new. So it was in at the deep end. It was later on that you started to think about the absolute enormity of the responsibilities that you had towards that child, not in terms of providing a roof over their head and putting food on the table and so on, but in terms of, if you didn't hold their hand when they crossed the road, they could be gone in an instant. If you turned round and let them run out run away while you're out on a walk or something, they could be gone in an instant, or fall out of a tree, and you start to think about all those enormities. But my initial reaction as a father was, you're not aware of those things until you actually really have to experience it.